Certainly be a really big day tomorrow with both CPI and the Fed. It's quite rare to have both of those within the same day. And to your point, I think there's going to be a lot of focus on the dot plot and specifically that 2024 median dot, specifically whether or not we see, that 3 cuts expectation move down to potentially 2 or 1. And really in our base case, we intend to see, 1, as we move through the course of the year. It's possible that the Fed keeps 2 to preserve some optionality in terms of its own projections. But I think in our minds, the Fed is really in a position of strength. You're looking at a quite strong economy. Inflation has made, some meaningful progress. Q2 seems to have continued the disinflationary trend after a hot Q1. And so I think the Fed's able to, sit and wait for the data to start to move their way. So we expect that, rate cut to first come in December. But there certainly is a debate to be had around the timing.
Central banks are happy if they can see that we're heading in a certain direction. The problem is that when it comes to inflation, there's not that confidence we are heading in that direction. The services side has been sticky, and even on the headline and some of the core rates, it still is proving a little bit jumpy. So when are we going to get the services side playing ball with the good side? The good side's come off a little bit. When does services give us a clear direction that it's cooling?
So I think there's 2 components when it comes to services inflation that we need to be mindful of. The first component is shelter, and then the second component is what is labor market driven. So when it comes to the shelter readings, we have seen leading indicators continue to decelerate for the better part of the last year, and the BLS has signaled to us that the official data comes with a 4-quarter lag. And so in our minds, that real pronounced decline in shelter inflation should really come into the back half of this year. And then secondly, when it comes to what's labor market driven, so that core services ex-shelter component of inflation, we continue to see some promise there, but of course there's some stickiness. When we look at the labor market, we've seen some dramatic rebalancing really take place, largely as a result of an influx in foreign-born workers over the course of the last year. And now we're looking at a job openings to unemployed persons ratio of around 1.3, which is back in line with pre-pandemic averages. And so I think we're certainly, again, moving in that right direction, and it's really about that official data starting to follow what we're seeing from the leading indicators.